So this is case, and it's Billy's father, and I need to great thankful to Billy about he gave me this chance and trust me to helping his father. So his dad is about 64 or 5 years old, and he was a martial art teacher and also on the spiritual path and practice yoga, believe Eastern philosophy, I think mostly Hindu philosophy. Before he died, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor and to have the chemotherapy. I started treated about a month before he died. So by the end, you can see his physical body is exhausted, very pale, very slender. So the time I was called by Billy, it was Saturday evening, about 10:30 p.m. He was in a coma since Friday. So he was lying on the bed when I was entering and keep signing and also using his hand brushing the body. So basically there was no response, according to Billy, being with him for a whole day. So using acupuncture and using the technique in Chinese we called revising consciousness, 9-needle revising consciousness. So as soon as the needle in, he actually had more expression, trying to open his eyes. His body was cold, and after I put the needle, and then I using moxa. So the energy, yang energy, we using moxa providing yang energy is one of the key factor also to bring the consciousness back. So this helped by the Billy's dead wife, and she helping do the moxa on the feet. I have a moxa box on the body, and then we also meanwhile feeding the patients a little bit herb, because the patient was not able to passing through for 3 days. So, and we thought maybe can helping to relieve. So patient have no problem drinking and the herb tea. There's no choking. He very collaborate. This amazed me, and it doesn't feel like people have no response. So he responds, he tried to open eyes. And after a few minutes, probably 5-10 minutes, and he opened up his eyes and break up a beautiful smile. And we were so amazed. And then he said, amazing room, amazing room. We keep and sing that. And then during that, of course, I tried to told Billy and tried to ask him if he feel cold, if he feel thirsty. The patient didn't respond to the question, so I understood he was not consciousness back to our human world, but he consciousness being there. And that's probably less about a minute or less, and then he back to the normal signing, and he keeps saying far, far, far. And it was that time I have no understanding what that meaning. So he might in the sleeping state. So now I think the far, far, far meaning is far away. What he in the past traveling, I feel like understood it this way. So a few minutes later, and during that we still try to cook in the herb. So Billy and his friend is nurse and was also there and helping. So they went down to cooking the herb, and I'll try to put in more needle on the patient's head, and then I can hear him saying, "Father, Father, Father." It seems like all 3 times, "Father, Father, Father," and then just a little pause, and then he said, "Forever, forever, forever." It's very, very light. It's like you can see the lip making the sound. So at the moment, I didn't interpret anything, and so then later, when we put everything together, it really makes sense. So for me, I interpret later, I think the father trying to say goodbye to Billy, and like, "I will be your father forever." So that's what I interpret. Because he is not, because he believes Buddhism and also Hinduism. So I don't think it's Christianity, father forever. So that's my personal interpretation. So later, this is this story I got from Billy later. I went downstairs. And that's his wife actually also saw he broke up. Another big smile said before the patient changed the breath, and he said, "Grandma, my family," and also 3 times. And then later he changed to the breath, more like a throat, shallow breath. And then when I get there, what I hear is his final breathing is only blow out. It's probably also maybe 2 or 3 times. And so I felt energy in my body tingling. At this moment, I did adding 2 needles on the bottom of the feet. So my interpretation is helping the soul complete transit out. So after about maybe 10 days, had the funeral. This is another story. It's on my end. Billy invited the 3 Thai Buddha monks chanting for the funeral ceremony. I was standing outside with my daughter and Billy's cousin and his daughter playing. So while I was standing there, I feel this swirling energy and very happy, pleasant in front of my heart. I literally just feeling this thing is swirling, and my mind just gave me quickly instant response. Oh, he thanked me. He's happy. So that's referred to Billy's father. So I feel like the spirit coming to me, thank me, and he is happy, and I feel so light, happy, joy. Yeah, so that's my feeling. And another feeling in my mind, this is, I joke myself, probably my life clock is extended. So I think this is a good thing to do. And that may be true. So this is the drug-free process in helping a person transition, life transition. It's very quick and no suffering and very pleasant, even though we are a little bit shocked so quickly because for us it's still a new experience. But through that, and I felt I learned so much, and I feel like we should definitely not take the death light, especially before dying. This is the most important stage than after death. This moment, I was kind of like supervising the whole process. even though it was new for me, I feel like I was doing everything right and didn't make any mistake. And we catch up everything good, every clean, and also Billy expressed after next morning, and his dad's face looked much relaxed and happier. So that's already after about like 10 hours or 8 hours. So that's the thing we can carry on at home, and we can also helping people to finish this transition, and it's make a family member have much easier transition, and also helping the soul go to the other end much peaceful and as they're designed. So I summarize this dying process and through this observation. So there is from the last few hours, and from shallow breathing, you can see mostly breathing out and then breathing in. And then by the end, there is a very quick few minutes. They have throat breathing. And so those are very quick. And then last is breathing out. It's a blowing out. I think in the Tibetan, the book of Dying and Death, they might have even deeper written about this stage. Here is the talking about the consciousness dying. So what do we mean about consciousness dying? I didn't hear or listen to other people's topic. So for my understanding, the consciousness dying is like the spirit, the consciousness, like open, weakening through all this process. Like the first case about my great-grandma and dying without disease, she was all consciously weakening through all the process. In the second case with Billy's father, and he dying with cancer, and with the acupuncture and the moxa, and his consciousness was weakened. So he was with us and consciously open. And he communicate through all the process to even to the soul reach to the other end. I say to the last breath. So I say this is consciousness dying. And then we can help in this process, and to, if based on person's beliefs, their choice, either we can help them chanting or praying, and or just using the Chinese medicine, helping them calm and through this process. So this is to give you a little bit background about the Chinese medicine, talking about the Hun, and we're going to have a whole detailed topic on this the Hun and the spirit. So in Chinese medicine, we believe liver houses Hun. So when liver is failed, and so the Hun, it will flying out, and we will learn there are 3 different Hun. And the first one we call the heaven Hun. That's also mostly for us understanding is the soul that left body first. And so that's why people can be in the lost consciousness or coma stage. So to revise it, and we can do Chinese medicine can do it. And so we can bring the person's Hun back. And during the stage, again with Billy's dad in the middle, he waking up, burst up the smell and saying, "Amazing room, amazing room." In Chinese culture or medicine, we call the 回光返照. It means returning the light. In the later part, I'll explain to you. That means the heaven Hun came back to bring the earth Hun and back to heaven. And so this means very good dying. You will understand more when we talk about the San Hun Qi Po in the later topic. In the Tibetan Buddhism, so they separate into 4 stages. Lapsang will talk more in detail. I will just quickly go through that. So the state there is earth dissolving. I think that's corresponding to Chinese medicine, that is referred to spleen stomach stop working. We call the spleen stomach qi ending. In Chinese medicine, we say if there is stomach qi, one can live. If there are no stomach qi, one cannot live. So this is the first stage, no desire to eat. Then second stage, they said water dissolving, and it's the fluid. There's no desire to drink. If giving more fluid, they can cause edema. Is not good. The third stage, called the fire dissolving, they said the warmness and is remain to the heart, and people start have cold limbs, the cold body, even cold breath. And this fourth stage, called the wind resolving, that means the breathing more exhale than inhale. So, and then will last breath, and the breathing out is blowing out. From stopping the external breath and also complete stop internal breath, that would last about 20 minutes. I believe Lapsang will talk more on that. So overall, a complete circle of life, and what we promote is from a healthy baby to a healthy adult life and to a healthy dying. That's what 养生, a healthy living principle about. If we can live following the 养生 principle, following the principle of human unity, and everyone can have a happy, healthy life.